Talk a little bit about your background, some of the things you do, and if you had to describe what do you do for a living, what would that be?
Well, I do a lot of things. Like I said, I grew up in Mesquite. I was raised here. I have a great love for this valley. There's great people here. I think that's what makes Mesquite great, is the people in the Virgin Valley. I do enjoy the outdoors. I've grown up on a horse, spent a lot of time with my grandfather, who was a real cowboy, and I enjoy being on horseback and being in the outdoors. We do a lot of things as a family business, work together, land development and other things. I'm going to be here till I leave this earth, and I want to see Mesquite have its needs and resources taken care of as far as the water and the issues that will help promote a positive Mesquite. And so I guess we've done a lot of things, but work with my family, and self-employed, and kind of a small business guy.
One of the first questions that I usually ask of candidates is why? What is it, and you've done your public service when you were with the Water District, what is it that has led you to a place where you chose to run for City Council in this go?
Well, I think Mesquite has a lot to offer. I've tried to stay informed and been involved since the incorporation of Mesquite, since Mesquite was incorporated into a city. Been around a lot of elections, been around a lot of the people who make the decisions in the Mesquite politics. Sit on the city council, mayors, talk to them. My father's always had a vision of Mesquite. Been actively always involved in politics, and not only locally but nationally. He's concerned about this country, and it's always just been something that I've always just kind of been involved in. There's really probably never a good time to get involved. I've watched what transpired, and as the third seat opened up, and talking to people to try to encourage them to run. I think people need to get involved, and the more people that are involved, I think the better choice and the better decisions that can be made. There's a great list of candidates running now, and as I looked at the opportunities and talked to my family, I felt like that now was the time to give it a shot and see if I could help Mesquite become the place that we all want it to become. And so I just threw my name in the hat to run for City Council.
Was there any one particular issue that led you to make the decision, or is there any one particular issue that you are passionate about that is really, this is your issue? Is there anything like that, or is this more of a broad-minded or broad approach?
No, I've seen a lot of friends have to move because they lost jobs. That's really nobody's fault. The economy's took a downturn. But I think there's things that we can maybe do better for businesses, not be so restrictive with some of the things that we put on them. If you want to get to the source of what makes Mesquite, it's the small business, and those people are the ones that have the input. I don't feel like we need to have somebody from the outside come in and do a study for us and tell us what we need and where businesses need to go. And that, I think we need to stabilize those people that are here. They're invested, and they're going to stay here, and they want to make it work. And when we have positive business, when you go into a business person, they talk positive about their business and about Mesquite, that's contagious. And I think that's what we need to continue to instill within Mesquite and with the business community. And they're the source we need to go to find out what we can do to really help them. And I think they all have some great ideas to bring people to town to be in the shops and spend money.
When you talk about the businesses, what is it that you as a city council person could do to help the businesses, or to help? The economy is a broad subject, a broad problem that's nationwide. But what could you as a councilman do to try to help the Mesquite economy and the business climate here?
Well, I think there's things. Mesquite has some, with the recreational activities with the parks and the ball fields. I think there's opportunities to bring other venues to town that will bring people into the shops. Got involved a little bit with the CDC to try to help unite the business community and really get a focus on, what is best from a business perspective to help stabilize and strengthen the businesses that are here and bring others in. There's been a lot of people that have come. We have a little bit of land, and as they've come to talk, I mean, it's pretty easy to see who's just full of smoke and mirrors and who's really substance and people that really want to come to town. We've got some great business people here, and I think to answer your question, we need to get them united together and find the solutions that will bring people to town and help them to feel like that they're getting the support of the city government. Not be so restrictive with sign ordinances and things that don't allow them to be able to market what they have and allow the patrons to come to through their doors.
Okay. When you talk about the impending or the current annexation of Lincoln County, good idea or bad idea?
Well, you know, I've always been taught that you need to work with your neighbors. Lincoln County's a neighbor. I think we've done some things. We've jumped into some contracts without knowing what we were doing. You know, those developers have the right to come and approach the city about annexation, but I think that we should do a better job in sitting down with the Lincoln County commissioners and let's get a clear vision of what we both expect out of this thing and not burden the taxpayers. So I'm going to be pretty cautious about that. I don't think that the people that are here should have to pay for that development. I don't think it's fair that Lincoln County should be able to, you know, get the tax revenue off the top, and then, you know, we're stuck with all the emergency response and all the things that those people will need that live across the county line. So I think we need to be careful so we don't burden the taxpayer.
Okay. You talked about your time with the water district and the water issues surrounding Mesquite. One of the issues that has come up is the issue of water for golf courses. In particular, as a member of the city council is looking at possibly, if not price reductions, locking in the price of recycled water for golf courses. What is your position on that, particularly if you were a council member? Is that something that you would support?
Well, I personally don't believe the city really has any play in that. I think that, as a matter of fact, when I was on the water district, we actually, as a board, agreed to go forward with having every member of that board elected. I feel that the citizens ought to elect every member. Right now, there's one appointed from Bunkerville and there's one appointed from the city. Regardless of who those individuals are, that doesn't matter. I think that those board seats ought to be elected. So, with that being said, there's some things that we could take care of golf courses, and I tried to promote that back when I was not on the board at the time, but I felt there was opportunity to receive some revenue, still own the water, and lease the water, and take care of the golf course's needs. But it didn't fly.
Okay. Another one of the issues that is becoming an issue in Mesquite, when you talk about transparency in government, and this is something that it seems to be a constant every election cycle. It's become a pretty big issue in this cycle. Kind of two questions. First off, are you satisfied with the level of transparency currently with the city? And we're talking about communication between the city and the people. And the second part of it, what would you do different, or what would you do to improve?
Well, I think the citizens have a right to know what's going on, whether it be a land transaction or whatever. I understand there's some things that legally that maybe can't be divulged in a city council meeting, but anything that's not of a legal nature, that's in a legal proceeding, citizens have a right to understand, and those issues need to be given the proper time. I don't think that they should be rushed through, whether it be a land deal or whether it be whatever kind of an ordinance. I think there should be open and frank and honest discussion and public input. The citizens have a right to come and ask the questions of the council. I also will answer the second question. If in a city council meeting there's a question that's asked in a public comment that could be addressed right then and there without opening up so the council meetings go on forever, I think that citizen has the right to have an answer. You know, this is their city, it's our city. And I think elected officials, as an elected official, I fully understand that I work for the citizens of Mesquite, and they have a right to come in and voice their opinion. And if they feel that I've not represented them well, they have the right to come and voice that opinion.